Today we're going to paint a cat. I'm painting in oils, but you're welcome to paint with an acrylics as well. I start off by blocking in the area behind the cat, just using a neutral color, sort of a greyish blue. Then I'm going to mix up a few dark colors which I see inside the cat. I basically mixed up a few variations of grey. So I'm going to start off by painting these colors in, basically where I see them in the cat. What I'm trying to do is just get a feel for the directions of the hair. So that's really important, that you paint these little strokes in the correct directions. So look carefully at the reference material to get those directions right. And then I'm also looking to get the correct tonal values in the right places. So I'll start with the darkest tonal values, and I'll put them in just using a bit of a scrubbing motion, and then I'll come back in with some intermediate or mid-tone values and a few lighter guys as well. And then by the time you're done, you'll find that most of the canvas is painted in. There may be a few places that aren't, but that's fine. It's a white cat, so if there's some of the canvas shining through, that's not a problem. And I'm just using a standard bristle brush over here. There's nothing funny. And then once I've got the basic hair effect right, I can move on to the eye. So there's two main colors, sort of a yellowish color and a greenish color. So just mix up that. You'll see they've got tons of white in them, so don't go too bright on this guy. And then just block those colors in where you see them. For the pupil itself, you can either use a black paint or a Payne's grey will also do the trick. So once you block those guys in, then I'll just come around with a fine liner around the eye area and suggesting a few detail hairs using a darker and lighter hair colors. With that sorted, I'll move on to the right hand side of the eye. So that's pretty much more of the same. Add a little bit of the yellows and the greens where you see them, blend them into each other. And when it gets to these little areas over here, what I've done is I've just added a little bit of a raw umberish, just a few scribbles, just to suggest those little lines that you get in the iris. So again, block in the pupil nice and dark, and then add in the reflection. That reflection makes it look nice and wet and reflective, transparent, eh? Right, so the skin around the eye is black, so I've used the black, same as what I've used in the iris, and I've blocked that in. And then I'm just taking a look to see how does that skin merge and tie in with the hair around it. So I'm just using my fine liner to get that kind of a detail, and as before I'll add in a few little detail lines around it. Okay, moving on to the nose. What you want to look out for here is to get those little different angles, because you see the top of the nose, the front of the nose and the side of the nose. You want to get those different angles right. So I've used like a orangey pinky base color, lots of white in it again. And then I want to get that looking in effect by the nostril, so I've used the black there to get that right. And you can see there's different tonal values inside that nose to get the different angles right. With that done, it's all detail work from here on, so I'm using a lighter and darker of the hair colors and a fine liner or a rigger brush, and just flicking in those little detail hairs. So where you really want to get them right is here on the edges. So you've got this lovely little overlapping, rough, random hair effect. And I think that really adds the nice realism to the cat. Alright, so let's move on to the ear. I basically just blocked in the basic colors there. Whatever I see, I've popped them in. So I'm looking past those little detail hairs that you see in front. That comes in a minute. And I've just blocked them in. Alright, so with those little detail hairs over there, I've used a rigger brush. It's got a nice long bristles on it, and I've taken a white paint, thinned it down with lots of medium. If you're using acrylics, lots of water, and then I'm just flicking them in. And I'll do exactly the same for the whiskers as well. Just flick them in. So with the whiskers you can use white, and there are a few little loose black whiskers as well. And with that, the painting is finished. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please take a few seconds, like the video, and of course subscribe to our channel for more tutorials like this.